Hi, I'm Jack.shilley and welcome to this week's episode. In this week's episode I'm going to be continuing with my autumn colour series and showing how you can inject some well-needed, much-needed colour into your gardens throughout the autumn and the winter. Now in the last episode I did mention about showing you how to create a hanging basket. Now I haven't quite got the materials together to do a hanging basket, but what I have got is these barrel planters. Now they're not actually wooden barrels, they're just sort of plastic containers that have been made to look like wooden barrels. They're quite nice actually, and I've got a load of different sort of autumn stuff that's a little bit more unusual. I'm also going to talk to you first about this. This is Physalis, which is a Chinese lantern, and it's a perennial. So if I kick off by giving you a brief introduction on what this is and why it's good for this time of the year, and then we crack straight on with these containers. So this, as I said just a moment ago, is a Physalis. Chinese lantern, or Cape gooseberry is the common name. What they do is they're a hardy perennial, so they can be grown outside in our country in beds, borders, pots, baskets, whatever, and they send out these sort of fleshy shoots here. Now the flowers that come out on these stems are pretty similar to potatoes. In fact, they're a member of the potato family, Solanaceae. And so in essence they're very similar. They don't have underground fruit like potatoes, and the fruit is produced within these orange cases here. That's where the name Cape gooseberry comes from. The fruit inside is a little tiny berry, and what happens with these orange cases is they turn to sort of like a skeleton, and it creates this lovely effect really in the deep winter of this sort of skeletal sort of look to it. Really nice, and it catches the frost beautifully well. The fruits inside are edible. Just make sure you've got the right variety for eating. What I want to use this for is it's quite sort of autumnal Halloweeny looking, which is why I like it so much. I'm probably going to use this in some kind of Halloween planting, Halloween basket or container, just because they do almost look like little miniature pumpkins. Once it's sort of finished its display in the container, what I want it for is I'm going to put it in one of the beds on the far right hand side of the garden so that it can grow and mature. It's suitable for sort of full sun, it will tolerate dappled shade as well. Needs sort of fertile, moist, well-draining soil, so it doesn't like to dry out too much, and it does need that nutrients there in order to produce these lovely looking fruits. So that's what I'm going to do with this. This is the first sort of perennial that I've looked at that's really good for sort of autumn colour and winter interest. It is a really good plant for that, and I would thoroughly recommend popping down to your local garden centre over the next few weeks, because they're going to be carrying these, and grab yourself one because they are fantastic plants and good fun too. So once you've sort of filled the container up and you've left sort of an inch or so around the top, then you can start laying them out. So what I'm going to use as centrepiece is these Chamaeparis laurisona Snow White. They're a really nice conifer with this sort of very light green, almost bluey coloured foliage. And then I'm going to use solanum, which is Solanum pseudocapsicum. So again, a member of the potato family, is a Solanaceae family. Flowers are very similar to that of the potatoes, and they have these really vibrant sort of coloured fruits, which aren't too dissimilar of what's within a Chinese lantern, orange casing either. So if I pop that in there, like that. Now I've also got Kaluna. Now these are the standard type of autumn sort of flowering heather. Technically summer flowering because they sort of come into flower in August, September, and then sort of carry on. But great for autumn colour, so I'll pop one of those in too. So it's always good to sort of lay them out on the surface so you kind of know what you're working with a little bit. Otherwise it might not work out quite so well. Then I'm probably going to split this ivy here, have sort of a couple of ivy hanging down, and then pop some pansies in the front as well. That should create a really full, nice looking pot. So let's get started. First I'm going to start with the Chamaeparis Snow White. Then sort of layer the compost up around it. And then there's this little pocket of space at the back here, which I'm going to use to add just a pansy, just to sort of fill that space. So there's something there. And then this sort of space that we have left at the front here, this sort of space that we've got left around the front here, as I said, I'm going to split this ivy, pop a couple of bits of ivy in, and And a couple of pansies in the front there too. Like that. Now that container looks fantastic. It's full right the way round with plants that are going to provide lasting autumn and winter colour and brighten up a dull corner, a dark sort of patio, by the front doorstep. I've got another one so you could have matching either side of a driveway kind of thing. Really, really nice planter, really simple to do. So that's what we've got time for in this week's episode. I've talked to you about a really nice perennial plant that you can plant in the ground pretty much anywhere and leave it and it'll grow and it'll provide autumn colour without the need for too much effort. And I've also shown you how to plant up another sort of style of container with a few other sort of autumnal plants that you can use to provide some lasting colour for those dull grey months. Now, my videos are going to continue throughout the autumn and the winter. And as of this episode, they're going to go down to every 2 weeks, so fortnightly video updates. Things have really started to slow down and there's not going to be an awful lot to do vegetable wise. There's a bit of fruit pruning to do, a bit of site preparation for next year, a few autumn and winter vegetable bits going on, but not an awful lot. So as of this episode, we're dropping down to fortnightly episodes as well as our monthly updates too. Don't miss out on any of the future episodes, so do click that subscribe button. And if you've got any ideas or any plants that you would like to share with the other viewers on the channel that you think would be good for autumn and winter colour, please do post them in the comment box below and I'm sure we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you next time when I'll hopefully have all the materials to do the hanging baskets. See you then, thanks for watching.